Hello, Math Stars. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, and we will be working on this Lesson 9 problem set. And this Lesson 9 problem set focuses on rounding, so we will be rounding to the thousands place, the 10,000s place, and the 100,000s place. And let's do a review problem right now to get started. So it's been probably since October from when we last saw rounding, but just a very important concept to know when we're dealing with numbers, when we're dealing with generalizing numbers and kind of seeing if our answer makes sense. So I have this number, 991,632. And what's our first step when it comes to rounding? Yes, the place values chart. So this fancy chart that we have become super familiar with this year. So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and then 100,000s. And then our next step is always to place our number that we're looking at into this place values chart. So let's do that. So 2 goes into the ones, 3, 6, 1, 9, 9. Okay, so now I have my number 991,632 in my place values chart. And let's begin. Let's first focus on, let's say we wanted to round to the nearest thousands. And we would do that by looking at our thousands place. And we will circle our number in the thousands place. In this case, it's 1. And we would underline our number in the hundreds place. And in this case, that's 6. And what we would do is we would look at our number in the hundreds place to determine if the 1 should stay a 1 or if the 1 should become a 2. And we determine that by deciding if the 6 is closer to the number 10 or if the 6 is closer to the number 1. And from looking at a place value or number line chart, we know that 6 is closer to 10 than it is to 1. So that tells us that this 1 needs to become a 2. So then we would have 992,000. Because then, math stars, you remember that every number after the circled number just becomes a 0. Okay, let's do another example. So let's say instead of rounding to the thousands place, let's say I wanted to round to the 10,000s place. So same situation. We would circle our number in the 10,000s place. In this case, it happens to be 9. And we would underline our number in the thousands place. And in this case, it happens to be 1. And we would want to determine if this 1 is closer to the number 1 or if it's closer to the number 10. Well, this one's pretty obvious. This 1 is closer to the number 1. So that means that this 9 needs to stay a 9. It cannot become a bigger number because the number in the thousands place is small. It's small and it's closer to 1 rather than 10. So the 9 stays a 9. This 9 also stays a 9. And remember, every number after the circle number becomes a 0. So when we round this number to the nearest 10,000, we get 990,000. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's say this time I want to round to the 100,000th place. Well, you guessed it. We would circle the number in the 100,000th place, and we would underline the number in the 10,000th place. Okay, so we're going to look at this number in the 10,000th place. We're looking at this 9. And we're going to determine if the 9 is closer to 10 or if it's closer to 0. From looking at a number line, we know that this 9 is much closer to the 10 than it is to the 0. So this 9 needs to become a bigger number. This 9 needs to become a 10. So, and then every number after the number that is circled becomes a 0. Whoa, super big number. So 991,632 rounded to the nearest 100,000 actually becomes 1 million. Okay, got that? So a good general practice when it comes to rounding is always to look at a number line, right? To determine if numbers need to be rounded up or if numbers need to be rounded down. So a general practice, if the number that were underlined, if it's 5 or bigger than 5, so if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we need to round up. And if it's 4 or lower, then we need to round down. So that means that the number needs to stay. If it's 5 or bigger than 5, the number that we're rounding needs to move up. If it's 4 or lower than 4, that number needs to stay the same because we would be rounding down. Okay? You guys should be all good to go on your lesson 9 problem set. And just another reminder to also log on to iExcel today to do this 4th grade math 820 skill. Great job to David, Andres, and Linda for logging onto iExcel yesterday and making some great progress. Okay, Math All-Stars, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.